and how it's just this amazing thing we get to celebrate, the most amazing thing in the world, the arrival of Jesus Christ into this world. But isn't it true, and we can be honest in church, I don't think this is sacrilegious to admit, isn't it true that Christmas is like amazing, the way we celebrate it? It's like amazing and not always amazing, almost like a hassle. I just heard a hard rock ringtone. That's amazing. Is that like AC/DC? Way to go, bro. Like, isn't that true? Like, it's like, oh my gosh, it's Christmas. And then there's this other half of our brain that's like, oh my gosh. It's like, there's so much, like, just, there's difficult things and lots to do. And not only is it the trees and the lights and the presents and the travel and the family and all the stuff, but sometimes there's some real difficult parts, right? Like our finances are really struggling and Christmas just seems to highlight it. Or relationships have gone bad and Christmas reminds us about it. There's been a loss of a loved one in our family and Christmas reminds us of it, seems to highlight the pain, right? I mean, I'm not where I wish I was in life, and somehow just getting with family every Christmas, somehow it reminds, like, you know what I mean? It's like amazing, but it also comes with what feels like hassle and even trouble sometimes. And if you've ever felt that, I just want you to know you're not alone. In fact, the main characters of the very first Christmas ever would say, we felt that exact same thing. Let's begin to read what we now today call the Christmas story. If you have your phones, Bibles, whatever, Luke chapter 1, we're gonna start in verse 26. You ready? I like it. All right. God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. The angel went to her and said, "Greetings, you who are highly favored." That highly favored, that phrase just means it's like a verb. It's talking about the action of God bestowing blessing and favor on his kids. It's the I'm with you, I got you, I'm working, I've got a plan. I've got blessing to pour out on your life. I'll do miracles in your life. You're highly favored. So this angel talking on behalf of God says, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you." What's that very next line? Mary was greatly troubled. We're getting ready for the very first Christmas. It's amazing, and she's greatly troubled. And I was reading that over and over and over, getting ready for this weekend, and I thought, well, which one is it? Like, is she highly favored, or is she greatly troubled? And I think if we could ask Mary, she'd go, correct. Yes, both. And see, this is so huge for us to talk about. I'm so glad you're tuning in for this service, because this is something that every single one of us deals with. What do we do when we hear God tell us that we're highly favored and blessed and that he's with us and working and has a plan, yet everything about our life at times feels like it's falling apart? Am I highly favored? Because all I feel right now is greatly troubled. And how do we reconcile that in our mind? That's what we're going to talk about today. His power will protect you. His promises are for you. And we hold on to that for dear life. Now, there's a difference between talking about this stuff in church and actually doing it, and I'm well aware. And I told you guys a long time ago that I think one of the best things I have to offer you is authenticity, even in the hard times, maybe especially in the hard times. And see, it's easy to be vulnerable when you're talking about, like, man, I really struggled 5 years ago. It's harder to be vulnerable when it was, I struggled this week. In fact, I remember a pastor friend one time, I said, hey, I'm gonna share with the church some ways that I'm broken. And I said, another pastor told me, be careful how much I share, because you don't want him to lose faith in you. And this pastor helped me remember. He goes, no. You don't want him to have faith in you. You want him to have faith in your God. I don't want you to have faith in me. I want you to have faith in God and know that I struggle too, and we're on this journey together. I felt like God put this thought in my mind. So I was asking him, I'm like, God, am I done? And I felt like he went, hey, maybe you just need to apply the message you're about to preach to yourself. I'm like, not now. I felt like we were having a conversation. I've been feeling like that the last couple days. I felt like he was like, you're reading about a teenage girl who hasn't been following me near as long as you have. And on her greatly troubled days, she was able to simply decide that I'm not going anywhere because his Spirit's with me, because his power will protect me, because his promises are for me. And if she could decide, Shawn, you could decide. And I sat in my office. I still couldn't figure out a message, but I wrote down a prayer. It was really more of like a declaration. And I don't know why I wrote it, but I kept reading it and reading it and reading it. And I thought, you know what? I bet you I'm not the only one who goes through hard times. And maybe you don't know what to say to God because you're just mad, sad, scared, hurt, disappointed, whatever it is. And I thought, you know what? If that's the case, you borrow my prayer this week. Would you guys put this up? I took a picture of it. This is what I wrote. My prayer today. I'm highly favored, even though all I feel right now is greatly troubled. God is with me. God sees me. His Spirit is in me. His power will protect me. His promises are for me. God, help my mind right now. I've already decided I'm not going anywhere.